and welcome to the Tome of Worms podcast, the podcast about all things board gaming, and sometimes tabletop gaming. I'm your host, Minty. I've got my two co-hosts with me today. How are we doing today, Pops?
Alright.
Alright?
Yeah, I'm doing alright. It's been a busy day. But I'm awake. And with us as well this week is the third worm, Neil.
Hello,
How
everyone.
do?
How doing, mate? Alright?
Yeah, all's going well. Managed to get some games in over the month, which has been a nice change.
Good. Takes us nicely. I like your segue there, mate. It's pretty good. Play anything good?
Yeah, managed to do a few more missions on Zombie Side. Black Plague, that's
Black
been good
Plague.
fun. Yeah, that's been a lot of fun. So yeah, now moving on to Wolfberg, which will be fun but interesting.
I think I've only ever done like singular.
Yeah,
Missions.
Wolfberg is an expansion.
Okay.
But you need the base game of Black Plague to play it, but it adds zombie wolves in, which are very quick.
Oh, good.
Yeah, they can keep up with you. And a wolf abomination, which is also very quick.
Any
and
type of abomination in Zombie Side is just
yeah, but this one's quick. Yeah, it's interesting. The last time we've done a couple of missions with it, but this time we're kind of going through each mission
Oh,
with the
nice.
same set of characters. See how that goes.
Zombie Side was on your list, was it not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which version though? There's about 3 now.
3? There's about 600. There's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle one. There's a Marvel
Well,
zombie
standard
one.
loads, I suppose. Yeah, as the main ones. You had
Yeah.
the Zombie Side, which they've done season 2 of, or a second edition reprint, and then there's the medieval side,
Which is a Black Plague.
Black Plague.
And then there's another.
And the Green Horde as well is another standalone.
What's
of
the
that.
other one that...
And then there's a sci-fi one, Invaders.
Invaders. That's the one. That's the one set in space. That one's hilarious.
Yes,
No flamers outside.
makes sense.
Yeah.
And you get the little robot that you can wander around and do actions with.
Yeah. You played anything good this month, Pops?
No, I've been on holiday.
Oh, didn't
I've
take any
been-
games with you?
No, I did actually. I took Tacta
Oh, nice.
with us.
Did you play it, or did it just stay in the bag?
No, we played it. We played
Nice.
it. I lost, as always.
Every time?
Every time. I haven't won a single game yet. We played Uno, obviously, because you have to take Uno when you go on holiday. And we took Catch Cat.
Yeah.
But
How was Catch
didn't play that.
Oh, okay.
The missus doesn't really like it. She finds it very boring.
Fair enough. I found it really good because we got sake at the end.
Exactly, that was the thing. we had sake and played a cat game.
Fair
It
enough.
was wonderful. But no, I've kind of haven't really been playing much. We played Rumble Slam
Yeah,
for
we
the
had
first time.
our first game of Rumble
It
Slam.
was
Loved
great.
it.
I won, only because I had more money than you.
Yep.
But that's for another episode, I think. But I have bought 2 new games.
Ooh.
I have Pan Am.
Yep.
Because it was cheap and it looked quite interesting.
Yes.
Trying to fly around and sell your air routes half, and it looks a little bit similar as Ticket to Ride.
Okay.
Without
Mainly airplanes, isn't it?
Yeah, without playing it, I couldn't say whether it definitely is or not.
Watch this
Um,
space for that one then.
Yeah, we'll give it a go soon, I think. And the new Horrified Dungeon
D&D.
D&D, Dungeons and Dragons.
Before you bought it, I had it in my basket ready to go.
And then went, oh, you bought it? Oh, well, I haven't got to buy it now.
You bought it, I went out and bought Battle of Hoth.
Nice. Yeah, see, that was in my basket.
Yeah.
And you bought it, so didn't need to.
There's pictures to follow of Battle of Hoth just because the minis are cool. Obviously, it's not the version we saw at the expo. It's not the big $3,000 version of Battle of Hoth, but it's still really good. I actually bought another game. This
Shock
as
horror.
well.
Really?
One
Where's it going?
one that you have played, Pops.
Yes.
I bought Living Forest,
Nice.
the forest spirit game. It's very
There it
good.
is, up there.
And if you can remember any of the mechanics, on one of my draws, I drew 26 cards without drawing 3 dark creatures.
Isn't that the one that the ginger one got upset because...
Because we got one rule wrong.
Yeah.
That's fine. It was the first time, and we were playing at first D after getting let in late and all that. But we don't need to go into that. But talking of board game cafes, me and my wife and my very little baby went to the boardroom in Whedon.
And in Wiedenbeck, I went there on Sunday. Didn't play anything, just had a look around and see what they've got in there. Really, really good selection.
Yeah, it's a great selection. Obviously not thirsty level, but it's got a great selection of games. It's obviously community based as well from where it is.
Loads of kids games. Like, it's brilliant for taking little ones.
And it's not expensive.
Oh, it's cheaper than anywhere else. Like £2 for an hour and then £1
For extra
after
hour,
that.
yeah.
And if you're an adult, and then 50p for a child.
I think we went.
Very minimal payment.
We played for 2 hours, had a drink and a piece of cake each, and it came to about 14 quid.
Yeah, it's
That's really good.
Yeah, so... And
We'll drag you along there, Neil.
Yeah, we'll get down there at some point. We played Gnome Hollow. It's a bit like Carcassonne, but you have to build mushroom rings and claim the mushrooms and then sell the mushrooms on the market. Really cute little game.
They do that in Amsterdam, don't they?
There are some funny looking gnomes in that one.
Again, there's some funny looking gnomes in Amsterdam if you do the mushrooms.
Yeah, we both received our Would You Like a Free Game from Kickstarter
We did.
this month. We
did.
received Robo Rescue.
We've been waiting for quite a while on that.
Neil hasn't played it yet. I don't think you've played it
I
yet.
haven't
have
played it yet. I have it with me, but I haven't. I've had a look through it. Tried to read the rules. The rules are quite...
It's simple, but it takes a little bit of... you have to understand the game a little bit for it to make sense.
There are a few videos on YouTube.
Yes.
If you have backed it and you have got it, it was very quick once they said it was on its way.
Yeah, I think it said free game, and technically the game was free. But then you obviously paid shipping. I bought extras because it's me. I bought all 4
me too.
decks. The decks are all exactly the same, but I bought 4 different decks, so I could play more than one player.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 10-minute quick game. Once you get going, it's really simple. You draw 2 cards, you place them in your areas, then you score 2 areas. At the end of the round, you then get rid of all the cards and start again.
And then I got the expansion, which is the enhanced abilities.
Is that not for the board game?
It is,
I've got that.
but I reckon there's probably a way you could incorporate into this.
Probably. So it turns out the free game is a promo for their board game that they're bringing out. It looks interesting. That's Robo Rescue. My daughter loves it. We played it at a cafe the other day just because it's really simple to carry around.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else from this month that anybody...
I've managed to get a couple of games of 40k in. It's not
very
something
nice.
we've mentioned much before or dwelt on, mainly focusing on board games. But
No, because at the minute I'm a little bit thing about being... I think you'll find...
you get of anything, really.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, that was good fun. Weekend playing games.
Good. Did you play the guy that metas everything?
I
Swindon.
did. He brought his Chaos Knights.
Oh dear.
I did end up losing, but the lion acquitted himself well, which was quite good.
Lions so much, almost as much as.
He's not that bad.
Well, he lasted a lot longer than Azrael last time.
Well, yeah, or the rest of my army, you took it out piece by piece, and then the lion went on a spree and just
Killed everyone.
killed everything.
Killed everyone. That was it. Game over.
That was good fun, and I think you still won that game.
Yeah, on points. If it had carried on much longer, then I would have had anything left, and the lion would just be stood there on his own, surrounded by Necron pieces.
Yeah, so that was good fun. Yeah, and giving the Tyranids a bit of a run as well, and that was good fun.
Good. That's what we like. We need to get you involved. We need to get you playing a game.
40k?
Yeah.
I haven't got enough room for any more miniatures.
Whatever. I've got 2 armies.
Well, not
Neil's
with that
got 2
attitude.
armies. If we go to Warhammer World in Nottingham, we're not playing.
Okay.
We could do like a 500-point game. King of the Hill or something.
Whatever's easier for a novice that has never ever played any kind of 40k, doesn't know any of the rules, they're just miniature people to me.
You'll be alright.
You'll be fine.
It'll be good. Don't panic. We got our head around Rumble Slam in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, we did, to be fair. That was quite easy.
Basically, it's knock somebody on the floor, pick them up, throw them over the rope. That's Rumble Slam for you.
Yeah. I reckon there's probably a way that you could incorporate that into like a battle royal.
Oh, yeah,
you
gotcha.
eliminate one and then one person comes down the aisle Like the Ultimate Warrior.
Do the elimination tag version from was it the old SmackDown versus Raw days?
Yes. But you could do a Survivor Series, actually.
So this month's episode we are doing app ran games. So these are games that can't be played without the app. Not games that are enhanced by apps. We will go through a couple of those in a bit, but we're going there. We're talking about 3 different games this month. We're going to start with the first one from Pops.
Beasts of Balance, which I'm going to talk about. Yeah, it's first time playing it. I've seen it on your shelf many a time, and I've always gone, "What's this? What are these?"
You've been very intrigued and opened the box at least 6 or 7 times.
Oh yeah, easy. And I like the shape of the figures.
Yeah, it's all geometric. Is that the term?
I think so. Yes, it
Yeah.
is. They're like really colourful, really bright. The feel of them as well, like in your hand, they're actually quite comfortable because they're like a soft feel as well. So it's really good for kids. Like they're gonna like be mesmerised by the colours and everything. Think of it as like a Jenga mixed with Pokemon mixed with tower blocks.
Yeah.
It's you just build it and do what the app tells you. The app is really, again, colourful, really friendly on the eye, really friendly for children. And it kind of tells you what to do, but it makes that game just even more compelling because you do something on the app and it affects the mood in the room. Like, why have you just done that to me? Why? Oh, I'm going to get my own back on you. I'm going to take all your points.
Yeah, so obviously we played the battle version tonight, didn't we? Which obviously is a little bit more cutthroat. At one point, for most of the game, I had 0 points because everybody kept killing my animals.
Or stealing.
Or stealing my animals, yeah, there is that.
We did steal your animals. It kind of brings your creation to life, I guess, with the app. You know, because you're connecting it to your device, you've got the music, you've got the sound effects. Like I said, you have to do stuff through the app in order for the outcome of the game. It's really, really clever. You know, the plinth is basically a scale.
Yep.
And it
very sensitive scale.
Very sensitive scale. I assume that the figures and the cards, they've got NFC chips in them, so it knows what that piece is or what that card does. And by having that, again, it's just bringing it to life. And obviously in the background, that NFC chip has everything on it that tells the app the weight of that animal or that artifact, and it knows that you have put that one onto the plinth. A little bit similar to how a Tony's box works. So if you've got small kids, you know what a Tony's box is. It works by having an NFC chip in, and that's loaded up with music and stories and things like that. And I think it's very similar technology in that. Reading about it online, someone called it it's not impossible, even though it looks it. Yep. Because you look at some of the animals and some of the artifacts, you have no idea how that's going to balance, but somehow magically it does.
We've played it before, Neil, haven't we?
Once before, yes.
We played it with my daughter.
Yeah, with that time we didn't use the cards at all, really.
In the battle.
Correct.
No, yeah, because I don't like being too harsh on her with that one.
Yes.
Some of the cards are just a bit like when we were playing with Pops earlier. We hexed one of his things that then blew up later on. And
then my stuff got hexed, and then I managed to save one of mine with cocooning it all, and then trying to work out when you get to play some of the cards to stop stuff.
Whereas that's a bit advanced for
yes. So you can dial it down if you need to, which is quite good.
We played the cooperative version with my daughter as well.
Yes.
Where you just have to keep all the animals alive and get the most
bit
points.
More teamwork for everyone, really.
That one gets the legendary expansion beasts in a lot more
But you can use them
Wow.
straight away, can't you?
You can buy them online as well. So if you only have the core set, you can buy the legendaries. You can buy all 7 add-ons.
Yeah, the technology in them does tend to make this game quite pricey for what you get.
Yeah, like looking on the website, if you go for the Legendary Edition, which is the core game, the Ghost Crab, the battle cards, the Hot Belly, the Moby Brick, more beasts, the Omni Beast, the paranormal pieces, all of that, you're paying another $144,
Yeah.
which the base game is still just under $100. You pay nearly $300.
Yeah. But there are second-hand versions out there that are going for, what did we see earlier, 15 quid?
15 quid for the core.
I think that lends itself to some people could get bored of it pretty quickly, I think.
Yeah, like you think about it, it's like a Jenga for the iPhone generation, if you think about it.
Pretty much. But there is, for me, I'm not a completionist as such, but there is that book of monsters that when you mix 2 monsters together, you create something new, and it's nice to see those come to life.
And also, as we found out, when you move monsters or creatures to different locations, it changes what they are as well.
Yeah, so when you do the battle, you choose a location. So you've got sea, land, and air.
Yeah.
So like Neil played an octopus, and it became a rocktopus because it was on land and it grew legs. But then all of a sudden it was in the air and it grew wings. But yeah, I quite enjoy this one.
Yeah, I enjoy it very much. I think me being me, it's very colourful and actually really something that you can just play by yourself if you want. You know, there is a 1-player mode on it as well. You know, you could try and work out how you're going to balance an eagle on top of a bear.
It's working out which pieces are the same size as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. But then you don't have control if you're playing with other players. You have no control what they're putting down.
Yeah, the R1 was Carnage.
Yes.
So you put a piece of fire in the middle.
Yep.
For no reason.
No, just thought I'd mix it up a little bit, try and win over, and try and get one of you guys to knock it over before.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, that didn't happen because you knocked it over.
No, I knocked it over in the end, yeah, but I did explode your beast.
Yes. And then he blew up your toucan.
Enabling
Yes.
the toucan, yes.
But what's the setup like for this one?
Simple. So easy. Like, it connected to the app straight away.
Yep.
Like, it connected. It knew exactly what piece. There was no lag. There was nothing. It just went. And I think that's kind of important when you're doing an app-based game, is that you don't want the lag, or you don't want the app to be thinking about what it needs to do in order to make it work. It just worked.
Especially with that kind of game as well, when things can move on quite quickly, and
the Firefly
rounds and that can be quite quick. I think the most thing that takes time is, as you mentioned, is getting the Firefly to the right point when you're trying to steal a creature or cross it with something else.
Absolutely, you can have no lag when that comes along.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one thing I will mention: obviously, the app is free.
Yeah.
There's a QR code on the box, I believe. It doesn't really come with a rule book as such. The app gives you tutorials as you go through.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go into tutorial mode in any game mode by looks of things and scan pieces to find out what they do, which is really is also really good.
It makes it into a board game, video game hybrid in a way, doesn't it? Because you're relying on that app, but then you're also relying on the pieces in front of you.
Absolutely. And like you said, the plinth is just a clever fit.
Yeah,
I haven't
it's
really
a very
seen
clever game.
Another game like that.
No, I can't think of anything that is that intuitive.
There are challenges as well, we saw.
Yes.
So, if you're doing like solo mode or whatever, you can look at the challenges and try and get those to, something to play towards instead of just building a menagerie of animals.
Or how tall can you get the tower?
Yeah, it's one of them games where I think it's more aimed at families.
Yep.
But 3 grown men here having a laugh and playing it, I think it's suitable for everyone, really.
It's something I've noticed on a couple of the games we've spoken about before. It says it's for 7+. Now, my 5-year-old plays it and loves it. I don't know. She's not a normal child because she's surrounded by board games all day, every day, being in my house. So she just plays what she wants. Like, we played Letters of Whitechapel with her. Obviously, we didn't tell her about Jack the Ripper or anything like that. We told her it was just, people running away and stealing sweets and stuff. We changed the theme because I don't want to have to explain to a 5-year-old who Jack the Ripper was. But she understands some of these games. So I think some of these games, we'll talk about it more when we do our family and kids games. They're unfairly aged, I think. Obviously, there are some. I don't want...
Unless they're taking an average.
Yeah, I suppose.
And I suppose with some of these games, it could also be the attention span needed for some of these games.
I suppose maybe a 7-year-old might be able to set it up and play it themselves. Maybe that's what they do it on.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Can they, a group of 7-year-olds without supervision from an adult play this game?
Maybe. I suppose.
See, now, I was looking at it. So it is designed for app. It is app-based. It works on iPad, iPhone, Android. Also works on Amazon.
Yeah, because I have a Fire HD.
Yeah, so you can run it on your TV if you want to play it in your living room or wherever with your kids. I think that's really good. Not everyone can afford an iPad or an Android tablet. So, if you've got a Kindle Fire that, you can get on Prime Day for 30 quid.
Yep.
You can get as much enjoyment out of this game as you're meant to.
Yep.
With not spending a lot of money. Or you could just have a tablet that you have quite an old one and you just use that just solely for board games and gaming.
Well, I don't know about Neil, but last time we played it on my phone. And it is harder to see it on there. But obviously, everybody has a phone these days. Most people have a phone anyway that has the ability to be able to download an app. Apart from maybe my granddad. But I don't think he's going to go out and buy Beast of Balance. Mainly because I already have it.
He'll play it.
Yeah.
I know he'll play it.
And there's no way he'll know what to do, but he'll just give it a go.
Yeah.
But there is that, like you said, you can cast it to the TV as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because unless you're doing the battle mode, you don't really need to interact with it very often. As long as you can see what's going on.
Yeah. You could plug your tablet into
one of the other
TV
games we'll talk about in a bit benefits from that as well, I think. Scores. I gave it a 7 out of 10 because it is good, but there are repetitive bits to it.
See, I think I probably overscored it when we first talked about the scores. Like thinking about it now, probably give it an 8.
You just really enjoyed it. You wanted to play it for ages, and you had that excitement.
Yeah, but I think thinking
it.
about it now, it's not something I'm going to play every single day. It's something if I'm in the mood for, and I don't want to play Jenga, or I can't be bothered to keep.
But then
saying
also, you were really excited about playing it. I've not played it for quite a while, and it's delivered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
Can you remember what score you gave it, Neil?
Luckily, I've written these down already. I was prepared. For the Beast of Balance, I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Yes.
I think similar to Minty, it is a lot of fun, especially with a group of people. I think it'll be there'll be a lot more carnage with more people involved.
Yeah, I don't know.
How many players is it?
It says 1 to 5. So I assume.
Yeah. I think with 5 players going around, it will quite quickly be carnage.
Proper carnage.
Yep.
So how does that? On the battle mode.
I
how
assume
does
it
that
doesn't
work?
work on battle mode. Unless you play on teams.
I suppose, yeah. Play in groups.
Because you couldn't play battle mode on your own.
No.
So maybe it's just the co-op thing.
Yeah.
But then I suppose on co-op you can play as many people as you want.
Mm.
My daughter, we got her to score it because obviously we played with her. She gave it an 8 out of 10. She really likes it.
Yes.
So there is that. She finds it really fun. And when you're doing co-op and stuff, there's no winner or loser as well, so she doesn't feel like she gets really annoyed if she knocks it over, don't get me wrong, and even more annoyed if you knock it over.
Yes.
But yeah,
that's standard really.
That's anything else on Beast of Balance?
I'm stealing your copy to take home
Absolutely.
to play.
Absolutely, and we can all find out when your missus beats you.
Oh yeah, there's no argument against that. I will lose.
This is where he goes home and just says, "Oh, it's co-op only." Yeah, it's just co-op.
It's only a one-player, sorry, you can't play it.
So moving on to the next game, will be me. We're going to talk about Outsmarted. This game has gone slightly viral, I realised the other week. It's everywhere all of a sudden.
It's cheap on the second-hand market as well.
It is cheap on the second-hand market. I think there is a snag to that, though, because you can only have a certain amount of devices attached to a number.
Okay.
So I think there is a little bit of a scam there somehow, but I think you can kick off people and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
If you can get in. So Outsmarted, I'm going to describe it in a really small sentence. It's basically Trivial Pursuit on steroids.
I'll agree with that.
It is a trivia game where you have to collect coloured rings to get yourself to the final round to win, basically. There are a couple of different game modes to it. There are points, which we played tonight, where me and Neil got absolutely trounced because Pops just bounced around from WrestleMania to WrestleMania.
Pops is the knowledge.
Yeah, he has got.
When you're as old as me, you've seen many things in your life.
Including the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Including...
He got that one wrong. He couldn't do ancient
history.
I
couldn't do ancient history, but I could tell you all the history of Formula 1 and WrestleMania.
Marvel films, not so good.
Marvel
but you managed to bluff your way through it.
I just guessed.
So, setup for this game is really easy. You get the board out, you get your characters out.
You don't have to do that, really. You can do it all through the app.
You can run it all through the app, yeah. And then the app basically explains it all to you. The rule book is small, simple, clear, just explains how to set up, how to get to the app. It then has a little bit of information on all the characters. So the characters you play as, the meeples, are historic characters.
Can you name all 6 historic figures that are in Outsmarted? You said you got the 2025 version.
Yeah, this is the 2025 version.
Okay, so yeah, which 6 are they?
Joan of Arc.
Yes.
Amelia Earhart.
Yes.
George Washington Carver.
Yes.
Is that what we said? Shakespeare.
Yes.
Einstein.
Yes.
Cleopatra.
Look at that, 100%.
So my uncle has the 2024 version, and he has, instead of Joan of Arc, it's Marie Curie. And then there's another version, which I thought was Genghis Khan, but it isn't.
It was someone else that I can't remember.
Claudius, or
yes,
something
like that.
Philosopher. And then there's also, on the app, if you play it on just the app version, there's Abe Lincoln, and maybe it's just that. Maybe it's just Abe.
I think so.
Yeah. So I assume he's from the original version. So it's a up to 6-player game.
Actually, 8+. According to the box. Oh no, that's the age.
That's the age.
Sorry, it's 2 to 24 players.
Yeah, so you can play in teams. So it's obviously teams of, so it's 6 maximum teams or individuals can play. And something I like about this game as well is it can be played over the internet. So somebody who has the game, you load it up, you get a code, you send it to somebody else who can download the app and join the game from wherever they are. We've done it once before, and it was really good. It has its own inbuilt voice chat system. It has, you can see where everyone's going on this virtual board. So as we said, you can play it without the board. Once you can't download the app and play it, you need the code from the game to be able to activate it. When you activate the game, it gives you 10 categories.
Yes, you have 10 core categories that you get with it all, and with the option to buy more.
And some of those core categories are live, so breaking news updates every day through the app, because obviously it's connected to the internet. Then you have the option to be able to buy packs of categories or single categories. So I got an email 6 months ago saying there's a half price sale on the packs, so I bought all the packs. The categories range from most expensive is about £3, and then it goes down to about £1. £1. That's out of sale. In the sale, you can get some for like 50p. Obviously, the more popular ones, so your music questions and all that kind of stuff, tend to be a little bit more expensive. But I've got so many categories now
Yeah, you got one or two.
Yeah. But that's something I like as well. So unlike Trivial Pursuit, the categories aren't locked down. So today when we play 3 players, we chose 2 categories each. And then you have random, which is any category of question in the world. So you get to choose what you put in, really. Like, I think through mine I could probably do movie eras or a full music quiz, a full history quiz.
Yeah, all ranging from recent Marvel films to ancient history to WrestleMania to nature as well, sciences,
Lifestyle and culture, it's all there.
yeah, or even animated films.
Animated films.
Or-
You can also set the players up individually. So, like when I play with my daughter, she has junior questions, and there's junior, teen, and adult questions. And obviously, when you're playing junior and teen, there's some of the categories aren't available, like remember the 80s or music from the 60s, stuff like that. Which is also really good because it does involve the kids a bit more. Obviously, we played with my daughter and one of my cousins when we were away on holiday, and they got stuck on 90s hits. That stuck that even we couldn't help them because none of us knew the questions either.
Like me with ancient history today.
Yeah.
I got stuck on that question for so long and I just ended up guessing.
Absolutely. So tonight we played the points version, so you get a certain amount of points per question. Ring questions give you extra points, and then we played. So the app updated for us tonight as well. So the first time me and Neil played with my daughter, the game was completely different. You could play timed version with the rings or points, and when you got to the final round, there was a grid of 9 questions, part of 9 questions. So it's like, where in the world ... or who wrote ... and then you had to click on 3 of them and get them right. Whereas now there's a quick fire final round where you need to get 10 questions right to start
For
with.
the first, when you first get to the finale, it's 10, and then I think it drops by 2 each time you then have to attempt the
So you
finale.
get 60 seconds to answer those questions.
There was 10 in 60 seconds was ridiculous.
Yes.
Like, it was so difficult.
You got to wait, which was a good.
I got to wait, and I'm going to blame that Minty just didn't click the button fast enough.
Yeah. Obviously the game has power-ups as well, which I got the blame for as well.
Yeah, you weren't clicking fast enough again.
So you get 50-50, a skip, and an extra 15 seconds. Apart from when we played the time games, I've never seen anybody use the extra 15 seconds. My dad used to save them up, and then when it was like a minute left and he was in the lead, he'd just keep pressing 15 seconds.
But I suppose with your turn being timed, you could use that to then answer more questions.
Yes. So in the version now, you get a certain amount
You
of
get
time.
2 minutes per player.
That's on the slow.
Oh,
So
is that
there's
slow?
slow, medium, and fast. So I assume it takes down that timer.
Yeah, I would imagine. But yeah, maybe fast. You've got like
It
30
is.
seconds to a minute.
I do
or whatever.
prefer it that way to the old version.
Yes.
Obviously, anybody that has the app will need to update it because it doesn't work without it. It just stopped us from playing it. So it will change. The new visuals are incredible. Everything moves around. You get to see your player at the podium and all that kind of stuff. And the other surprise we had was it takes points off of you when you get your first question of your turn wrong.
Yes.
As Neil found out, as he was on minus 100.
He was on
after
minus
2
100
turns.
at one point.
I managed to claw it back slightly.
you did well. I mean, you were left for dead. That's what I'm saying. Is that the highest score you've had against you?
Points wise,
Yeah.
that's only the second time I've ever played points. So yeah,
There we go. I've actually won something as well. Let's all just take a minute.
Hey,
I
mate,
actually won a game.
against me, it's been your month.
Yeah,
Rumble
it is.
Slam.
Rumble Slam. This.
Yeah.
There's probably something. No.
No,
No.
just those 2.
No.
But that's 2 wins. That's 2
Well,
more
you
than
did-
normal.
You did beat Jordan on Beasts of Balance.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah,
yes.
I suppose. But technically, you won.
I
so-
did. Well, there's no technically about it. I did win.
Yeah, exactly. I had more creatures than he did by
See,
the end of it. Just saying. He
But they
destroyed
weren't
all
worth
his
as much,
creatures,
though.
but-
Yeah, let's just go back to Beast of Balance a second. So what is really weird is that I was the one that knocked it all over, and the volcano came and destroyed us. But yeah, I still come second because of the points. See, part of me thinks, well, I knocked it over, so I lost.
Yep.
But actually, you could be in the lead and go, you know what, I'm going to sabotage this so I win.
Well, no, but if you're in the lead and you knock it over, it destroys your creatures. So then you won't be in the lead anymore. Because it comes up saying Sky and Sea, you need to rebuild for this person. You get a certain amount of turns, that time.
I missed that.
Scores for Outsmarted. I have scored it a 9.5 just because I play it all the time. When we were in hospital with Little Man, me and my wife played it all the time. Like, we ran out of Harry Potter questions. Because that's my wife's favourite category. Yeah, I like it. It's really replayable with the extra categories and stuff not being that expensive. I think if I look at it, I've probably spent quite a lot on categories now. But
out of the amount of categories you now have access to,
yeah, it's really good, and there's enough to be able to play it with a variety of people. Like my granddad, as we said, we played it with him before.
I assume that when you buy a questions pack, that updates. Or is it just that's it?
Some of them do. The more expensive ones tend to have more questions in the pack. When me and you last played, it said that we'd finished all the animated film questions.
Yes, but I did notice that it's not completed anymore.
Yeah, it's got new ones now. So there is that.
Maybe they'll update them.
So they do update them every now and then. Like I said, there are some live ones like breaking news and that. Neil, what did you score it?
I scored Outsmarted an 8 out of 10. Found it very enjoyable, even though I'm not the best at quizzes at times.
You did pretty well at Formula 1, considering you've never seen a Formula 1 race or even really...
I've never been to see a Formula 1 race, and I might have seen a couple of bits on the TV, but that's about it, really.
Yeah.
It's not something that I have
I did enjoy the choice of Esteban Gutierrez as a French driver.
So yeah, at least he didn't pick Gerd Hodberger.
Yeah, that's true. Hodberger was there as well, wasn't he?
I was just guessing at that point, really, because I had no idea.
Yeah. But when we had Star Wars on there, it was like pops with WrestleMania. You were just like, bang, done. Bang, done.
On some of them.
Until the Acolyte came up.
Well, yeah, I've not seen all of Acolyte.
I gave it a 7, I think I did.
7, yeah.
7.5. Just very enjoyable, very fun. I think if the core questions, there's enough for you to get started, enjoy it, and get into the game.
Yep.
But I think it was really useful, you having the expansion, we call them the expansion packs, just because there was something for all of us. So we knew, it was a bit like Mastermind, we could have our own topic that we knew we were going to be pretty good at.
I've never seen anybody roll like that, though, where you go from your category to your category, to your category, to your category, to your ring, back out to do your category. It's like, what are we supposed to do? I think we got defeated by like 3,000 points.
It was more than that.
No, more than that. It was close to 5,000.
It was what? I had 7,070 points.
I had
2,300 and I was like just above 2,000.
Yeah. Wow, yeah, we got trounced.
I think next time we play, no, I'm not going to let this, but you're going to try and stop me having WrestleMania, aren't you?
No, because I can answer those ones.
Well, yeah. I think that's what we should do. Me and you will have a head-to-head again. With
WrestleMania face-off.
WrestleMania and Formula 1. That's it.
Oh, gosh.
See how many points we can get to then between us.
Oh, dear. You'll win because you've got 40 years more experience than me. It's not that old.
Harsh.
It's close.
Close, yeah. My daughter scored this one because obviously me and Neil played with her involved. She scored it a 10 out of 10, and we have a quote, a famous quote from my daughter. She scored it 10 out of 10 because sometimes she wins. Which is fair enough.
Maybe I should give it a 10 out of 10 because I won.
You gave it a 7 because you got stuck on ancient history.
Ancient, yeah.
But so did you, and that was your chosen
category,
Binty.
When we've played it before, I've got everybody else's questions correct, and then got my own wrong, but because they changed choose 6 people that the Roman Empire got rid of. It's like, what? Hang on, what?
Yeah, hold on. And then there's mine, which was like, name 6 people that have won Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Or, who comes into this music? Real American comes off.
See, that was the first one. Was like, who comes out into Real American? Well, definitely isn't CM Punk.
No. Right, has anybody got anything else on Outsmarted? No?
No, I think the figures are pretty good. They're pretty
They're
good
pretty
quality.
cool, yeah.
And you can have the table presence if you want.
I think
we
with
had
the
it on the
update.
table.
Yes, I think with the update now, you don't
need
the
it.
table presence.
I think it works if you've got the app. If you're running it on a tablet or a phone, I think it's mostly that you get the little tablet holder.
Yeah.
For it. But if you're running it with a PC, laptop, whatever, I don't think you need the.
So normally we play downstairs on the coffee table. I cast my phone to my TV, and then that's where it is. So then having the board helps.
Just
You don't use
helps
the
no.
virtual one.
Yeah.
The reason I was doing the virtual one is because I was sat at the PC, not at the table.
Mm-hmm.
So, or if you're my dad, you only use the virtual dice because the other one's weighted against you. Apparently, he only ever seems to roll.
I kind of
ones.
agree that last time I kept rolling ones
Yeah.
consistently, so
Yeah.
I switched to the virtual
Yeah,
dice
see,
and
I
I
would-
managed to move around.
I would use the virtual dice because I am really awful at rolling dice.
So yeah, that was Outsmarted.
Mm.
So our last game of this episode goes to Neil.
Yes, this one is a bit bigger and more in depth than the others. This is Lord of the Rings: Journeys in Middle Earth. So,
I weren't here for this when you played this, was I?
no, I'm afraid.
I was next to a beach and filling
no,
my face
no,
at
no.
an all-inclusive.
You were supposed to be here, but you hadn't packed on the Thursday.
No, I hadn't.
Yes, and you were
And then
going
I
like the next
decided-
day.
And then, went on holiday and filled my face full of food.
Well, that's fair enough. I'd rather do that than sit in this sweltering room playing games with us.
Don't be so harsh on yourself.
So this is our first Fantasy Flight game
Yep.
for this category. When we originally went through this, we realised how many app-run games are actually Fantasy Flight. So after a bit of digging, we managed to find some that weren't Fantasy Flight, which was quite an achievement for us.
Yeah, it was. I mean, luckily they were already on my shelf.
Yes. Yeah, with a bit of thinking. Oh, that works.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, yeah, these Fantasy Flight ones are a bit bigger
Yes.
than obviously Outsmarted and Beasts of Balance, so it would have been a lot harder to get game time in for pops.
Yes. So this one, Fantasy Flight, which is normally a pretty good start.
Mm-hmm.
So setup wise, it's quite simple to set up really. The app goes through everything you need. Even if you're different, we'll either go for the world map or the battle map. It shows you where to put it. It goes in stages. It's really simple to go with. Something that we both agreed on, having an organizer is a must.
Oh god, yeah. It made it so much easier.
It did. But I'll say that's something that all large games have if there's a lot of tokens and
It's
involved.
one of my few gripes with Fantasy Flight. They make a great game, but they might as well just put it in an empty box and give you baggies.
They do, I think.
Yeah, pretty much. They've got that little cardboard insert that does nothing. But there's so much stuff they pack into these games. That's cool, really, isn't it? I mean, the amount of tokens, the minis you get for Lord of the Rings, that kind of stuff. It cost them more money to get the insert made, which obviously would drive the price of the games up, and these games aren't cheap. One of the games we were going to talk about, obviously Mansions of Madness, I think retails about £109.
Yes, and you can't get all of the expansions there.
That's the same for Imperial Assault. You can't get all of the expansions because Fantasy Flight technically no longer exist. They are Asmodee.
Yes.
But they still make games under the flag of Fantasy Flight because obviously there are fans of that company.
Going through the rulebook, it's the usual Fantasy Flight setup. You have a help to play and first time playing, or learn to play, and a rules reference in 2 different booklets. Makes it really simple to kind of go through what you need and find for it all. each of the large expansions for this one does add some new mechanics, but it's not overwhelming, and they come with their own rulebook for it all.
Yeah, the rule book is laid out really nicely. The learn to play is super easy to follow. It's basically it's like a gentle push, isn't it?
Yeah.
They tell you what you should be doing for the first couple of turns, go through all the major mechanics, and then just set you free. It uses visuals. The artwork on them is lovely as normal.
Yes, I will get to artwork later on this one, but yes. While there is a lot of text on some of the sections of the rulebook, it's quite nicely laid out and that it's not overwhelming, like on some rulebooks we've seen.
Yes.
Gameplay-wise, it's so immersive.
Absolutely. I think maybe we should explain a little bit about what the gameplay is for people.
So with this, as a reference point, it's very similar to Mansions in what you're trying to do. You get to choose your characters. Some of them are from the main films that you've seen, but some of them are different from the books, which is quite nice to add. Each of the large expansions adds more characters, so there's about 18 you can choose from.
Yeah.
So there's quite a variety you can play with.
There's a number of campaigns as well, isn't there?
Yes.
And the expansions add different ones of those as well.
Yes. So then you choose a campaign which goes through quite a long story arc for what you need to try and achieve. And you then have to interact with different people, different threats, or just the things that you notice on the map.
Yeah, absolutely. We played the two different types of maps that you can play.
Yes.
We had our first mission was on a battle map. We were in a tavern.
We were in a tavern trying to find information about the Dunlendings and the goings on in Rohan.
Yes.
So does it bring up the map on the app?
Yes.
Do you play it through that? Okay.
So basically, it builds the map on the app and you build it on the table.
Mm-hmm.
So when you put down, you get like site tokens, search tokens,
threat tokens, and people tokens.
And you can then look at them on the board in where your characters are. The only thing that isn't on the app is where your characters are.
You just get a starting location and then you can move around and interact with tokens. When you then get to interact, you click on the tokens, it brings up a bit of text about it all and potentially a skill test.
Okay, so the items on the table, they give you no information really, all that information.
No, physically no, it's all run through the app.
Yeah.
But it's quite nice that you can kind of go through at the start of the round and go and refresh yourself of what stuff is, and then you can quite easily click out of it and see what else is, so you can judge what you would want to do in a turn.
Because you can be playing a traditional board game on the tabletop and go, hold on, what have I just picked up? What does this do? Is it worth me having this? Whereas on the app you can go back to it.
It leads itself to that immersion.
Yes,
the app.
Mm-hmm. That also means that with speaking with different characters and people tokens on there, they have several different options that you can choose through and how you want to proceed with talking with a person.
Oh, that's very cool.
And we noticed especially on like Mansions, when you add the expansions, and you play through because we've done the same scenario a couple of times on Mansions, but Andy's had more expansions, and then different types of monsters from the expansions will come in, or
use different tiles and.
Obviously, the base scenario stays roughly the same, but it might be in a different place, so there is that replayability with those expansions and having that app to do that.
Also, through the app, you'll get a background music track that adds to all theirs on the opening of the mission. That text crawl to give you a idea of what's happening in the world. That's all narrated through as well.
That's really cool for the immersive play. I think.
Yes.
I think one thing with the 3 games we played were the app really lends itself to putting you into that immersion. Like we played Axis and Allies and put a 1930s playlist on.
We did.
It kind of, it's very similar to that.
You wait for Dystopian Wars, mate. You wait for that playlist to come on. We have traditional Asian country war songs and British 1940s, 1918, 14
To
music.
reflect the two factions that we're playing at the time.
Yeah,
on
I'll have
this
to
one,
find
but
some German stuff for my
I'll
stuff for the
find the
Imperium.
German stuff, and then
It's something we quite often
It's
do
gotta
is
be War of the
having
Worlds for
a themed soundtrack on the background while we're doing stuff. It's just that the app already does it for you.
I think that's where the idea originally came from when we were playing Mansions, and you had
Yes.
that. I think it was like, actually, this really adds to the game.
Or that one time that we did Mansions by candlelight.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was really good.
It was really cool.
I think it's similar to, like, people play D&D and they'll come dressed up, or they'll have a playlist or specific snacks or something.
Yep. Absolutely. But
you're just adding that digital element into your gameplay.
yeah, I think that these apps really do add that. Like, we've played Arkham Horror, the board game, and because you have to flick through this really thick book of lore and bits to find out what you're doing, and it just takes away from that immersion. You click on the app, you go, right, I choose what was it, the innkeeper. I wanted to talk to the innkeeper, and I think I offended him at one point. So it
I
meant,
don't think you managed that, though. Normally that's your MO.
that's normally my way, yeah. But like, you can choose the different things, and then you get, like, I think if you choose the right ones, it's shorter amount of time you have to talk. So obviously it's an action to talk to the person.
Mm-hmm.
If you take the wrong route, then it will take more actions to get to where you need to,
Yes.
which is quite good with the app.
Yeah, that is quite good, and there's little things you could do that might not directly help you overall, but they might give you little bonuses for what you need to do, or might help you reduce threat level, which is kind of your timer for the game. Because once that reaches a certain milestone, more stuff starts to happen, and normally it's not in your favour.
No, that inn got really busy.
Especially once the orcs invaded the inn and trying to fight them, each time that meant more enemies appearing, and if it gets to a certain point, you then... What's nice of this is that if you fail a mission, you don't lose the game, but it tracks that record of that failure going through, so things later on will be harder for you to do.
It just makes you more overwhelmed during that
So yeah, there's no
phase of gameplay.
really losing a mission. It's just making yourself hard, and you've not come away with the information that you need. Or
So it's like that was the battle map one, wasn't it? Obviously, that's a lot more combat based, a lot closer to it.
Yes.
So when it tracks those ones, like Neil said, you don't get the information for the world crawl map that you get next. Like, we won the battle map scenario, so we got a bit more information on the location for the next, where we needed to go for the next mission.
Well, for that one, at the end of that mission, we then had a choice of what we could then do. So we then chose to go to the unendings rather than following this one person who had a lot of information. And then that brought us to a world map, so then you're going through... It's a much larger map that you then build for all. The only small little issue or gripe that we have with that is that you don't get a general idea of how big this map's going to be. So you find you build the tiles and it's going off the edge of the table, and then you need to kind of move everything around to make room for everything.
Yeah, I think there's other games that do that slightly better, like Frosthaven, Gloomhaven. They give you the tiles to put down first of all, but that also adds to that immersion.
Yes, you don't really know what's around the corner.
In that direction you're going to be going.
Yeah. It's like Gloomhaven and Jaws of the Lion. You're playing there on the book.
Yeah.
Aren't you? You're not. Sometimes, but you take Skyrim. That filled this table up.
Yep.
And,
Yes.
You want that presence, don't you? Really.
But then as you're going through, you might reveal a load of different tiles, but you can't see what's on there until you're actually on that tile.
It's another
and
good
then
thing
you reveal all the tokens on there, and
that's another good thing about the app is the fog of war it gives you.
Yeah.
yes,
It's just it can't be replicated in a non-app game.
No.
unless you had a game master to run the game.
Yeah, and who didn't play, who just
ran the game from that point of view and controlled the different enemies and the tokens. But for them, it'd be a lot of flicking through pages of they've gone with this prompt, so I need this.
Yeah. You're basically
this
just playing
answer.
D&D at that point, aren't you? Let's be honest.
A more restricted D&D, I would say.
What I like about these kind of games is you can be involved in everybody else's turn, so there's not as much downtime. It's not as, like if somebody has decision paralysis, you can kind of get involved a little bit more with what they're doing.
Well, it's all cooperative, so there is that help there.
So there's not as much downtime as you'd think. Is it 3 actions you get?
2 actions per character. Because it was just me and Minty playing this time, we tried 2 characters each. You can do this solo with 1 character, but I think
That's
most
not recommended.
No, I think most people would run a couple of characters if you're doing it on your own.
Yeah.
Just because, like, each character is kind of specialised. Like, we had, was I Barlin?
You were the 2 dwarves. You were...
Not Barlin.
You had... Yeah, I think you were Barlin and...
The other one. Not a well-known one. I wasn't Gimli this time. I was Gimli the first time we played it.
Yeah, you quite like Gimli.
I do like Gimli. But I had one who was very attacking and one who was very supportive, whereas you played Legolas
and Boromir.
One's ranged, one's fighty, up
yes.
type. So if you were just running in with just Boromir, then you've got to run up to these archers that are shooting you and doing a lot of damage.
But there's also quite nice with the enemies is that the app can add a lot of variation to the same type of enemy by giving it certain little abilities. It might have a bit more armor, a bit more health, and that changes throughout the game.
So you're not fighting the same thing. And, I know. I just need to do this, and I've wiped them out.
Well, there's quite a variety of enemies anyway.
Yeah.
Even within them, they can be slightly changed to add a different experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it has keywords, so you can get like large, and
which adds more health, or it might be terrifying, so then it does more fear damage to you.
Yeah.
So on that mechanic, you got health and fear. If those reach to 0, then you do a final stand test. If you pass, you carry on. But then each time you do that test, it gets harder and harder to pass.
Yeah, I think apps kind of lend themselves to games like that, don't they? Where you can put a lot more mechanics into the app as you would in a video game. To if you're just solely tabletop, when you've got cards and you're dealt a card and you've got actions and whatever on these cards, part of that is down to the interpretation of the people playing it.
Yep, absolutely.
Isn't it? Where the app, it does basically make your board game a video game.
Yeah, and what I also like about the app side of it is when we do those skill tests,
yes.
It tells you to roll a certain amount of dice. It doesn't tell you how many you need.
Well, actually, there's no dice in this game. It's all done by cards. So you'll each get your own unique cards. There'll be generic cards in there that everyone has, character-specific ones, and class-specific ones. And then you'll get a weakness thrown in there that just kind of clutters up your deck, and you draw in
Barlin was very arrogant.
He was. So then you're drawing these cards depending on your skills that you have on your character, and you're looking for different symbols. You can then spend tokens to get successes, but there's also abilities on these cards that you can then, at the beginning of a round, prepare, and then you can use to have an impact on the game. So we found quite a useful ones.
This is the thing that we looked about with the Fantasy Fight ones. This is the difference that the Lord of the Rings game has over Mansions, over Descent, over...
Yeah, they use
Imperial
dice,
Assault.
where this has a deck that uses quite a small deck, really. But then as you level up, you then add more cards into that. You get better cards going through. But there's also, you're not limited to the role that you choose at the beginning. You can change that out.
Yeah, and the app does suggest certain ones for certain. We went with the app suggested ones for all of our
well, it's
characters.
on the back of the character cards of what they suggest is your starting equipment and role.
So you're not going in blind?
No.
I was the bear man.
Bjorn.
Yeah, I was the bear man and a dwarf this time.
Yes, you're a dwarf and Bjorn who could change into a bear. which you quite liked.
Yeah, I was a bear for most of it.
Yes, you
Even
were.
in the bits where we were talking to people.
Yeah, even in the tavern, when there was not really any combat, you were a bear trying to talk to people.
Yeah, that works.
Apparently so.
It did. We won.
We did. Combat is also a lot easier with the app. You just kind of draw the cards you need for your test, you work out your hits, you put that on the app, and if you've got certain keywords, you just press the right button and it does it all for you.
Yep.
It's quite simple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like we said, that works the same with the dice rolls in Mansions and the others. You put in a certain amount of successes, it then translates that over to their health or armor damage, or you take the keywords away. You can also add other what they call statuses. So like you can daze them, you put that in, and obviously then the app then tracks that they're dazed or confused or whatever. So that's another good thing about it.
Yeah, it's quite simple to run, and the app will tell you most things that you need to do.
Yeah.
I think what is nice about this, rather than Mansions, on some of the tests, it won't tell you exactly what you need to pass.
Yep.
So you then have to gauge, do you need to spend some of your tokens to get enough successes to pass?
I think there are some bits of Mansions that do that now.
I think now, but they didn't used
Yeah.
to, and it kind of gave you everything of this is the outcomes if you pass or fail with this. It won't tell you that until you've put in your app what you got in your test.
And then some of those we worked out in Mansions are cumulative as well. So if I tried it and then you tried it, pops, it might add the scores together. It might not.
Yes.
But it doesn't
On
tell
the
you.
bigger tests, then they do add up, and you can go back and try these again and again and again to get what you need. But normally you won't be able to do it first time unless you are very fortunate with what you draw.
Something I noticed about Lord of the Rings over Mansions or any of the others, there's not as many puzzles in the Lord of the Rings one. Not that we ever encountered.
No,
yet.
not as
So
yet.
like on Mansions, the app brings up like an unblock me type thing to unlock keys or chests, or you have to put in a certain code in a certain order and stuff like that. But
Yes.
obviously, that Mansions is more Cthulhu based, and we will be talking a lot more about Mansions when we do our Cthulhu episode. It is one of the Cthulhu games I do not own, but we have two people quite close by that have the full set. One is pretty like Andy has some of it. He's self-made because he was upset that he couldn't buy it.
Yeah, it was at a print and you couldn't get anywhere unless you're willing to put a lot of money on eBay.
Yeah.
So, you managed to print it out.
It looks really good.
I think he's done a good job on it, actually.
Yeah, it does look really good. But yeah, that's obviously something that the app can do is add the puzzles. You can't really replicate those puzzles very well on a tabletop, I don't think.
Not without adding them physically, and then once you
adding to the
know
price.
how it is, it'll be easy to solve, whereas the app can keep changing it very
Yeah,
easily.
it kind of makes it a little bit more longevity into
And
the
cost
puzzles, doesn't
effective.
it?
Yeah.
You can do an update and you could have a completely different set of puzzles or a completely different set of
Absolutely.
missions.
I think we've
and
covered
adventures.
gameplay quite extensively.
Yeah.
So then, visual-wise, the artwork and minis are really good.
The one thing I have with the visuals is the same thing we have for all of the Lord of the Rings games we play, and that is because Legolas in these games is not blonde, and it takes quite I know my wife was like, "Hang on, how's that Legolas?" Or like you get like the Lord of the Rings version in Magic the Gathering where Aragorn is black.
They're done by different companies, and that was clearly an artistic choice.
Yes, it
on
was an
their
artistic
side.
choice.
But then what is nice with the Fantasy Flight games, all the Lord of the Rings artwork is the same.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
the
the
card
character
game,
for Arwen is exactly the same from Jones of Middle-earth to the card game to anything else they have done as well.
Yep.
So there's a lot of continuity with that.
Mhm.
Absolutely, yeah. It's just, some people find it quite hard to wrap their head around those differences because obviously in the film there's
Well, the films are a massive influence on current culture and how
Yep.
people see Lord of the Rings. So then when artwork is slightly different, it's a bit of shock for
Yeah.
people to get used to.
Absolutely, but it's still beautiful artwork.
Yes, it is amazing. All the tiles and cards are really good. They're quite laid out. A lot of the cards use keywords which you can quite easily reference. And once you've played a couple of rounds, a lot of them are quite common. You pick them up quite easily.
Absolutely.
And I've had the game a couple of years now, and none of the tiles are warped or bent.
And the minis are lovely.
Yeah,
Fantasy Flight minis are really nice most of the time. They have a tendency to bend, but
yes,
they're never, they're not flimsy.
no.
Some other games where these ones would bend slightly, others would just snap. They're
Or
not
explode, depending
they're
on what
not
they're made out of.
Steam Forge or Cormin level, but they're still lovely for what they are.
Yeah, there's no issues with them.
Or Awakened Realms, that's your
Main draw. Well, the reason we're talking about this game on this episode is the app itself. You can get it through Steam quite easily, so you can run it on a laptop or a PC quite easily. It's free on there. There are free campaigns that are DLC that you can buy, but they're about $5 each. With the base game and each large expansion, you also get a free campaign with it, so you can get up to 6 campaigns, which are quite long.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of gameplay time in there.
I think we've covered most of the other stuff for the app, haven't we?
Yeah, as we're going through.
The immersion, the noises, the sounds.
So with Fantasy Flight kind of been taken over by Asmodee, you will need an Asmodee account, but that's free to set up, and it just links it to that, so it's not that hard to deal with.
And once you have that account, you can, if you play like Mansions or anything like that,
Yeah.
then you can
Just
You can do
sign
that.
to that and everything's fine.
It's one thing I'm not keen on if you're playing an app-based game. Is you're being it's kind of forcing you into that ecosystem.
So the reason for having your account is for when you buy the app-only DLC.
Mm-hmm.
And also it helps you keep track of your collection. So when you buy a physical DLC, it would be a DLC expansion, isn't it? Not DLC. You fill it in the collection, so then the app knows you have it. Obviously, if you don't have that account, you have to fill that in every time. So there is that side. I understand if some people don't like having so many accounts or whatever, but it does actually help enhance that side of it.
Yeah, I think part of it for me in a way kind of takes away from that setup and play. Like playing Peter Balance, that was free, didn't need to sign the play. You go say.
I think it's obviously because you can also, once you're part way through a campaign, you save.
You could save it anyway through the app. It's just with Asmodee taken over, they've added that extra bit in because you didn't have to log in with Fantasy Flight. It was just done through Steam, which is the way I've done it through.
I don't know if it's available any other way than Steam, actually. There's an easy way to find out. But obviously, because
I believe you can get it through the Google Play and the Apple Store on there.
Yeah.
But then if you have brought any of the DLC through one of those, then it won't.
It doesn't cross over.
It won't cross
it's
over.
Not cross-platform.
No.
Yeah. It's just a bit strange now in the modern day where most apps are based on a website that
It is available on Google.
Yeah.
So I would imagine it'll be on the
Apple.
iOS as well,
Yeah.
if need to be.
The app's quite easy to run through and go through. It keeps itself updated when it needs to,
And it's a
especially
great
through
reference.
Steam. Yeah, it has on there, and it's quite easy to change what expansions you actually wish to play with. You just go in your collection, and then it's just done by pictures. Essentially, you just click on the base thing, and it actually lists on the app what's in each expansion.
Scores.
For me, I've given this a 9 out of 10.
There's a caveat to that 9.
There's also a caveat to your score as well, and this has been an organiser is essential.
Yeah, it cuts
We have
down.
done it before when there's just been a million different baggies in the box, and
It's doable that way.
It is, but it does take a lot longer to set up. With the expansion I managed to get, all the tokens are in one place. You just take out the organizer and just put it on the table, and it doesn't take up that much room, and it's just there.
Yep. And absolutely, it is personal preference. Like, we tried to play Gloomhaven like that when we first got it.
Yes.
Where it was 101 baggies, and you had to dig through the baggies to find the right things. It was playable, but once we got that organizer, it's just quicker, slicker,
it's just quicker and more
easier.
time to actually play the game rather than set it up.
It's the same with
Any large board game.
insert, any board game insert. Now I've got the insert for Gloomhaven. It just done.
Yeah, it does make it a lot easier. But can you remember your score without the organizer?
I don't think it'd be that much different.
I think it only drops it by about a point or so. The gameplay itself
probably
is
half
good
a
enough.
point, really.
Yeah,
At most.
I think it only changes the setup. You know,
it just might be able to get ready to play it a bit more often because we have the organizer.
absolutely.
So then, Minty, your score?
I gave it an 8.5. With the organizer, same caveat. Love it. Love the theme. Don't have enough time to play it.
Unfortunately, not.
I could play it quite often, but once you've done the campaigns, I don't know how replayable this one is.
With the different characters you could run through, could be quite good. And then there's different difficulty settings. So we did it on story mode that allows you to explore a bit more and really emphasise on that immersive side of things. But then you have a normal mode, so though enemies are a bit harder, you have less time to do stuff. And it does say that you will not have time to explore everything.
Yep.
And then there's a even harder mode that we've not attempted as yet.
God, no. I think my judgment is also jaded by the fact that there's a very similar Cthulhu game that I love, and I bought at the expo a few years ago The Descent.
Yes.
Journeys in the Dark, which adds 3D terrain to the actual tabletop and gives you this presence that has a lot more consequences than Lord of the Rings as well. So
from the bit that we've played of Jones Middle Earth, because we've not been able to devote that much time to it with the amount of other games we want to play.
Absolutely, and like, we love Lord of the Rings as a group. I'm not 100% sure on you, Pops.
What do you think?
Probably, because you're a nerd.
Exactly.
But it's just a great theme. The story world that Tolkien created is incredible.
Yeah, it's popular culture, you know.
Yep.
People name their kids after areas of Lord of the Rings. I considered it. So.
Yeah, but people also call their kids random items.
Well, yes. No, I haven't seen anyone that's been called Frodo yet. Do you know anyone that's
There's got to be
named Frodo?
somebody called Frodo.
Has to be.
I know of somebody called Samwise. That's his full first name. Obviously, we call him Sam, but his full first name is Samwise. After
Brilliant.
Sam from Lord of the Rings. And we obviously, when we were talking about baby names before we knew that we were having a little boy, I was throwing around Eowyn and Arwen.
Yeah. See, I was throwing Rohan around. Didn't stick, but
Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, it's Lord of the Rings, isn't it?
Yes, but you do have a Lord of the Rings game that you're not a fan of.
At the moment, yeah. I am going to give it a little bit more time to
we'll change that.
But I think that's more of a mechanics thing than theme. Artwork, lovely. You know.
I suppose, but just because a game is Lord of the Rings doesn't make it instantly great.
Oh, absolutely. It's a
It
reason
does help.
we haven't bought that storybook one from Ravensburger, because there's not enough. You play through the films, basically,
Okay.
or the book. I can't remember which one it is, but there is no leeway. It's very linear. Whereas obviously this one, like, you started walking north and I just went, ooh, a cave, and walked towards it because I was a bear. You know.
Yes, there's a lot more free reign to go where you wish, and the campaigns themselves aren't directly tied to the films. There might be some influences to there, but there's a lot more you can explore in Middle Earth itself.
Yep, absolutely. And that's something I like about Fantasy Flight. They don't just stick to the film. If there's a book, they'll look at the book. They'll get somebody in who knows the IP really well and can go through it. I mean, most people might not know who Balin is, or a few of the other characters that we can play as.
If they've seen The Hobbit, they should do.
They should know who Balin is. If you've seen Lord of the Rings, you should know the name Balin.
Depends how much you've been paying attention when you get to Moria.
But, you know, there is that side of it. But it's not overly expensive for an app-based game. It's not Mansion's money, is it?
I don't think so. There's the base game, 2 large expansions, and 3 smaller expansions that add some cards and some named villains to encounter.
I think it's definitely one of the lower ones, because Descent Journeys obviously is fresher, newer, with the extra terrain and stuff. It's more expensive. I think that was retailing about $150. Mansion, sort of said, is $110. Imperial Assault, I believe your brother got it an absolute steal, I believe, at like 60 or 70 quid, which I think is the price mark for Journeys in Middle-earth. I believe Neil's checking that right now. But
base game you can get for 60 quid.
Yeah. And the base game is enough to play for quite a few hours.
Yeah, that will give you 6 characters, enough enemies and tiles and maps to go through. Get 1 campaign with the option to buying another one.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And
I mean, as well, what it also does, you could create your own campaign. If you've got time to sit there and write it down.
Probably.
It isn't going to be based through the app. You're not going to be able to play it through that. But
well, I don't know, because it is through Steam, so it might be workshop stuff.
Potentially.
At some point. I don't know if Fantasy Flight block that, though. Because
Not
of the
all
IP.
games are workshoppable or can have mods on them.
Yeah.
That'd be an interesting one.
Is there anything else on Middle-earth?
No, I really like it, really enjoy it, hence I got it.
Absolutely.
one day I'll play it.
Yes.
Cool. One day.
We'll do a couple of mentions on games that have apps, in case people looked at this title and went, oh, maybe this game's involved. My main one is One Night Ultimate Werewolf. I find that game a lot easier with the app, but you don't need the app to play it. This episode is more about the games that can't really be played without the app. Beast of Balance is a touchy one on that one. If you want to actually get the full enjoyment out of Beast of Balance, you need the app.
Well, the app does all the scoring for you and
Yeah.
monitoring everything, so you kind of do need it for that.
Yeah.
If you just want a balanced game, then suppose not.
But I don't know why you'd spend that much money and not play it with the app.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when the app's free.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a game we've spoken about before as well, has an app that helps. We think it's just a scoring app.
Yeah, I
for
think it's just
Final
tracking
Girl.
up. I
Yeah.
haven't used it because you got to pay for it, and I refuse to pay for it.
That's the other thing with some of these. The next one I'm going to talk about as well is the Stage app, which I believe is for Frosthaven and Gloomhaven. You have to pay for it, unless you backed it for a Kickstarter, which obviously you've paid for it already, which just narrates the book. So somebody like me, who's dyslexic, reading just the bump is hard work sometimes, so actually having that narrator helps.
But it's entertaining.
Yeah, that's true. Another app we use quite a lot is the Board Game Stats app. I use it, one, for tracking my plays and where I play and who I play with and scores and all that kind of stuff, because me and my wife are very competitive when it comes to that.
Only a little bit.
The other good thing about that app is it has score sheets on it, so you can go in and digitally put the scores in without having to write it down on a piece of paper. Or
Yes, and if you go in there and look at Wormspan, you'll find the one game that me, Minty, and Andy played, we all managed to score
exactly the same points. Yeah. So yeah, those are the games that, you know. There's obviously other apps out there that help for other games. Fireball Island, I use one that has sound effects that you can click on, and then it's got scores or randomizers for the tokens, that kind of stuff. So there are plenty out there.
Yeah, I think Crystal Maze does as well. Crystal Maze got an app as well, but I think that's really only a timer and the map.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not too sure. We haven't played that one yet, have we?
I'll have to have a look.
So yeah, obviously we've mentioned the Lord of the Rings sister games. Are they kind of, aren't they? Fantasy Flight.
They're Fantasy
app
Flight
ran
app
games.
and games of Mansions and
Yeah.
also Descent.
Mansions of Madness 2nd edition, because
Yes.
I believe the 1st edition did not have an app.
No, that was run by a book, and you had a game master to run it.
So obviously with the app, it's easier, sleeker, cleaner.
Yes, and then everyone can be a player.
Yeah,
Depends
absolutely.
if you're inclined to be a game master and run a game, then
Yeah, absolutely.
go for it.
Um,
And then
so-
Imperial Assault as well.
Imperial Assault, me and Andy have played that, and it's awesome. It's so cool. Obviously, the upsetting thing about that is you can't buy all of the expansions anymore. But that was kind of like some of their expansions were like one character, and that could be like one villain, Darth Maul or somebody like that. But yeah, there's Journeys in the Dark, which is Descent, which is one of the newer ones. They've done a couple of seasons of that now, which is big. It's lovely. It's just a fantasy version of Mansions, really. Mansions is your Cthulhu insanity type game. You got your Lord of the Rings one, which is obviously Lord of the Rings. Your fantasy one where you're running through killing dragons and
Goblins
and all that kind of stuff. Imperial Assault is Star Wars. Don't know what else more you need to say about that, really. So there are those games. We're going to cover some of those games in other episodes. I think we have decided tonight that we are going to do a Star Wars episode.
I think we've worked out we have enough games to
Maybe
do an
that might
episode.
have to be a special, because obviously May is Expo.
I feel like that would be a May the 4th.
Yeah,
episode.
but May is also Expo, so we'll have to see if we've got time to do that. If not this year, then definitely in the future.
Mhm.
News. I will start with the news. I don't know if anybody has seen on Instagram or Facebook of War of the Worlds One More Day. Matthew has come out and has obviously had some personal issues and has postponed the Kickstarter. It was supposed to go live on the 23rd, which at the time of recording is tomorrow. But obviously he's put it on hold to take some time for himself. Every week he's been at different exhibition or showing the game or playing it or play testing for the last, how long have we been talking to him? 3-4 years. I reached out on behalf of us and offered support and all that. It just seems like he's just a bit burnt out, and trying to get this going and kickstarting is obviously the biggest part for him. So we send him all the best wishes, and we really can't wait for that to come to Kickstarter. But obviously his health comes first.
Definitely.
So I don't know what the reception's been like, because I've tried to avoid, because if I see any bad comments about him taking time, then I'm just going to get angry and turn into a keyboard warrior. And nobody needs that, especially on our official Instagram. But yeah, that's the update on War of the Worlds. One more day. We have to wait just a little bit longer. One more day, some people might say. But yeah, once again, all the best
It'll be worth it.
to Matthew. Yeah.
No.
It will.
There is some exciting bits on the way for all of us, I believe, on the 27th of this month.
It's not long.
Not long. There'll be a
Week,
new
just
update
us.
for new edition for Dystopian Wars. Will be joining us shortly. If you've been keeping up on their blog that they've been doing, it looks to be really, really exciting.
Yes, absolutely. And the energy that James has put into it just seems to be spreading through the team. I don't know if you read the blog before James got there. It was very concise and this and that, whereas it looks like they've took a deep dive into each section of this new and improved version. Our last game lasted 10 hours.
Don't think it was that bad.
With interruptions.
Yes, lots of interruptions.
So we'll see how this slimlines it down.
Yes. I was just trying to remember rules and then realised we weren't playing things quite correctly, which is our usual.
Yeah, standard. It's one of those, because the rulebook has, there's 170 different keywords,
At least.
and each weapon has 4 or 5 of these keywords that you need to remember, and then moving has different keywords. So we've had a playtest, not Pops, but we've had a playtest of the latest edition. We've had a chat with James himself. Obviously, we worked with James on Hellboy, the board game.
Yes.
And yeah, he's just a lovely guy.
It
And
was
I think
really good at the expo being able to playtest everything and ask all the questions they wanted,
absolutely.
and they seemed very excited about it, which is always a good sign.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, we're really looking forward to that. So that'll be with us soon.
Yes.
27th,
New
as we said.
starter boxes for each faction, like things with updated
Yes.
and new ships in there.
Absolutely, yeah. So for people that play Dystopian Wars, the new edition, they have released a rules and gubbin set, which gives you everything you need to update your rules and stuff,
So
all
yeah,
in a box.
New rules, new Victory and Valor cards, new tokens, and dice.
Another set of dice, yeah, all that kind of
in
stuff.
there.
It's reasonably priced. It's not, you don't have to go out and buy
It
all
was
the
about in the
stuff.
middle about what we were hoping it would be, actually. So that was quite good.
Absolutely, and obviously all the faction rules are all going to be free online anyway.
Yes.
So that's
Yeah.
always good.
Yeah, it's really easy. Like, you can take a look on the website. I don't know if it's up
Yeah.
at the moment
No.
yet, but when it gets launched, you can get in and go, yeah, you know what, actually, I do need to go and buy all this new stuff, or don't worry about it and go entirely digital.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, we're looking forward to that. Definitely have to get Pops to the table on that one, and Andy.
Yes.
Started painting them.
Oh, very nice.
Nice.
Well,
Probably
I've painted the bases blue.
Nice.
Something I want to talk about quickly. I backed recently the Distilled Cocktails expansion.
So what do you get in this version of Distilled then? Minty?
Cocktails,
It's cocktails.
margaritas, sex on
so-
the beach.
It adds a new mechanic of making the cocktails. I'm not 100% sure. I've looked at little bits, but I love Distilled so much I just backed it. It looks like it adds a second washback, which is apparently a player requested thing. So normally you could only create one alcohol at a time, whereas now you could do 2, because obviously you're going to need more than one alcohol to make a cocktail. The version I've backed is the keg or barrel edition, so it comes in a new box which will fit the base game and the expansion, and obviously I've done the normal minty thing and bought all the premium stuff to go with it, which my wife will be very pleased to not have to play. But it is also Kallax sized, so
That is useful.
in the Kallax. It comes with a cocktail shaker for the dice and all that kind of stuff.
That's nice.
Comes with
Nice little quirkiness
yeah.
to it as well. Like, I do like games that have that little bit of extra. You know, you look at Fate of the Fellowship. You know, you get the dice tower with
It
it.
is
and that-
amazing, which is Barrador.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Though. I wish more games would kind of put a little bit more. It can't cost that much more to produce. You know what I mean?
One thing I did notice on Kickstarter with this game is they are now, looks like some games are now offering a stretch pay type thing. It's not stretch pay as GameFound have it. It's pay in installments, because that would be copyright, I assume, because stretch pay looks like it's a company. So there is
It's
that
very
option as well.
dangerous for you, Minty.
Oh gotcha. But I was going to back it no matter what, but then when I saw that, it makes it easier. It means I'm going to buy more premium stuff for the base game. But yeah, so we've got that. I believe you received a new game, Neil?
I did, actually. I now have the last game in the Nemesis series, Nemesis Retaliation, which is more action-focused by the looks of it, with more aliens and your Marines.
That's right.
Hopefully knowing what you're getting involved in, but probably not.
Probably not, no.
No, I've not had a chance to play it as yet, but it does look very pretty.
I'll follow my normal MO, I think. Run in, if anything moves, shoot. And make all the noise you can.
Yes.
So,
I do
Yeah, I can
actually
normally
have
tell
one
when
of the
the-
Nemesis.
where Minty had
my
been
list.
by the trail of noise, when everyone else is trying to creep around carefully, and you're just,
barreling around.
yeah, shouting.
Because it's aliens, isn't it? Nemesis aliens.
Definitely inspired by.
Inspired by aliens, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's on my list.
This is always one of my favourite immersion things that we do, which is when we found that, was it 3-hour looping ambient spaceship noise from Alien?
Yes.
It's that substage in the theatre with this 3-hour loop of ambient noise.
Yeah, well, we're trying to run away from aliens and, well, intruders as they term them in the game.
Intruders, yeah, they're not aliens. They're not xenomorphs, are they?
No.
Did you get this one sun dropped?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I don't have
that looks
time
lovely.
to paint all the miniatures in that one.
No,
So,
Just remember, you will never paint all your miniatures.
no, but hopefully that will. Help.
The sooner you accept that fate.
Oh, I already accepted that
Hey,
anyway.
we don't live by the thing you need to paint miniatures before you buy new ones.
No.
No, who lives by that?
That's just boring. Is there anything else for the news that you have? No, it's all good.
I think we're up to date now.
Lovely. Excited for the next episode. We are going to be doing a Halloweeny type episode.
Halloweeny.
Halloweeny.
Halloweeno.
So look forward to that one. Thank you for everybody for listening. We are on Instagram, YouTube. If we can try and get those numbers up, that'd be great.
Yeah,
So we're doing quite well on those numbers.
On Spotify, yes, we are now over 300 listens, and I can't thank people enough. We had, over the last 30 days, we had 106 listens, which has been our best month since starting. It kind of makes Pops laugh a little bit because that was obviously the solo game month, and that was one of the ones we weren't too keen on doing. But
yeah, we weren't that fussed, were we, about that one? And then
it actually turned out to be a really good episode. So
there is a big community out there of solo gamers.
yeah, it's growing now.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, please tell your friends. If people haven't got Spotify, please let them know we are on YouTube. It isn't visual, so I understand for some people
Yeah,
that's
it's just audio.
not allowed. It is audio only. We will look to spice that up at some point with maybe some photos or whatever. I have taken down the X account because X is just a cesspool, and I don't think it's worth our time. But yeah, thank you all for listening. Please tell your friends, your family, anybody
Your
that likes
dog.
games. Please let them know we are on and around. Please follow and rate us. Leave us any reviews, any comments. Let us know what you want to hear about, what you don't want to hear about. But let us know if there's anything you want us to talk about on the show, any games you would like to hear about, any ideas, criticism, anything. We just need to hear so we know how
Constructive.
to make... Yeah.
Yeah, constructive criticism. Well, be as
We can only get better.
critical as possible.
We can only get better through your guys' help. And yeah, I've been Minty.
He's been Neil.
And he's been Pops. Thank you for listening.
The old guy in the corner is Pops.
Ta-ra.